Ba-da-ba-ba. Yeah. What is up, everybody? We're going to be going over some motorcycle gear. We're going to field some of your questions, and we're going to talk about, kind of some of the stuff that we can, get on the websites. Because I know a lot of you guys are shopping, and we wanted to make it to where you can get the right stuff and what to look for, basically. All right. I forgot to go take a piss. Damn it. All right. Oh yeah, I dropped my. Oh hey, Matt, are you gonna turn off the autofocus? There we go. Whew. What is up, everybody? Yeah, the Fireman here. Got a nice little trim going on. Got the new mic set up, so hopefully everything. The sound is terrible, raspy. Oh well. Okay. All right. Whatever. We're gonna be getting into this pretty soon. I don't think it was that raspy. Sounds good to some people, but anyways, go ahead and get on to this part. So we're gonna be doing a little bit of a shopping spree. We're gonna window shop today on part of this. I do have some other stuff, going on. So we're only going to spend a little bit on here. But if you guys have any questions about what type of gear, what type of stuff, hey, Heavy Harris, you got a pink beard, nice. If you guys have any questions on what kind of gear, what kind of stuff, in fact, let's just go ahead and get REVZILLA up here. Get REVZILLA up here. Yeah, I was looking at the Tech Air last time. We'll get up to REVZILLA so we have multiple things to kind of look at. So we're going to talk about motorcycle gear, what to look for, how to look for it, when I check out helmets, what I look for in a helmet, what I look for in jackets, what I look for in boots, pants, and all that stuff. Also, guys, be sure to sign into today's class to get credit for today's class. This is kind of what we're going to be going over. So hopefully you guys can, get some insight on what to look for yourself. I'm not picking out, hey, this is the best helmet to get. This is the best jacket to get. No, I'm going to tell you guys, look for shoulder armor, look for elbow armor, and then a lot of times they will have back armor not included, so we're going to be working on that too. So yeah, you guys got pink beards, baby. Woo! What do you think about the Icon Airflight with MIPS Tech? I love it, but I kind of had bad reviews about its safety. So MIPS, I like. We can jump into what MIPS really is. Actually, that's a great question, and we'll be doing that real soon. But you know what? Before we do that, baby, before we do that, let's go and get this down here. I want to say, Junis, welcome to being a crew member. We did have a crew member join up before the stream. Was Jeffrey Hansen. Welcome, baby. Ooh. Then we also had When Beards Fly. Oh, what are you talking about mine when it flew off my face? Yeah, we could spend some time on women's gear. Now, hey, Junis, there you go. When it comes to women's gear and men's gear, the thing that really goes or that works for both of them is the fact that you need to look for the armor, you need to look for abrasion resistance, and you need to look for fit. When it comes to women's gear, it's pretty tough. I'm not a woman, so they fit differently. So that's gonna be something that I need a little more information on. But the main thing is still looking for gear or looking for armor, looking for when it comes to helmets, they're all pretty much the same. When it comes to actual gear though, like a jacket. There's I'll explain it all. I'll definitely explain it all. 82 Tony PR, how you doing? How you doing, guys? Make sure you click that join button if you want to become a member. It's $2 a month, and I think on some places, some people get an option to do a 3 and 6 month dedication. So that's kind of cool. They just kind of rolled that out. You're new, Miguel. Join up, baby. Woo! All right. But real quick. I do want to say thank you to everybody that has donated to the Movember Foundation. We're going to have another stream tomorrow. I'm waiting for 100 people to get in. We have another stream tomorrow, so we'll be focusing on that and raising some money there. But what is today? Today's Tuesday, right? Today's Tuesday. Correct? Yeah. Well then, shoot, we should be having some tacos, right? It's Taco Tuesday. Everyone get in the lounge. All right. So it's a different mic. It's this mic right here on my face. Different mic, but we got ourselves some tacos here in the lounge. Grab yourself some tacos. If you want to become a part of the best online motorcycle community in the world, click that join button. But like I said, crew members, we're going to be focusing on a little bit of motorcycle safety when it comes to gear. That's one of the biggest choices outside of what kind of bike you want to get. You spend some money. So we're going to be focusing on some gear. So crew members, if you have anything that you have any questions on, so if you say, hey, I'm looking like the Icon Airflight. I forgot who said that. I answered. I don't know. It's going too quick. We'll go ahead and look up the Icon Airflight. We'll take a look at the safety ratings. We'll take a look at, what kind of head shape it is. We'll talk a little bit about head shape. We'll talk a little bit about, how to make adjustments in here and there. And then kind of my own recommendations. I do have some recommendations, which I'll go ahead and post in the chat pretty soon. But that's kind of what we're going to be focusing on. We're not going to spend a ton of time on it. We're going to spend about 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour on it. And then the last hour, the last half, we'll go ahead and get into the crash stuff. But let me know if you guys like these little mini topics beforehand. But let's get back to the class. Why did I go from the class to here? I don't get it. Matt, what's up with that? Yeah, Moto Mindful. If you're a petite female rider, quality gear can be expensive, especially since you're going to have to probably make adjustments to it yourself. Well, let's just start off with it. Let's do an icon. Good. Icon Airflight. or our air flight. Yeah, air flight. All right. So when I look at gear, it's like I typically look, okay, so what do I need? Okay, what do I need? Like what do I want? Do I want the helmet to look good? Do I want the helmet to have good venting? Because it's summertime here, so I want to have a helmet that has a lot of airflow. Do I want a helmet that has really good vision? Do I want a helmet that has the best safety ratings and doesn't necessarily need to have best vision, best airflow, best everything like that? So right away, I'll find the helmet that I think I would like, and then I'll from there I'll go ahead and figure out exactly what I need. So what I'm gonna do here is, I know what helmet or head shape I am. I'm intermediate oval, so I'm gonna go over here to sizing chart, and this is on Get Lowered Cycles, by the way, guys. Get Lowered Cycles. I do have that link in the chat for the best picks that I have, and that's typically the cheapest gear that you can get that has really good safety ratings. So. This is for a long oval head. Now, if I go and I check out motorcycle helmet head shape, and I do this, NHTSA even has it. No, okay, I don't want that. So we got this right here. In fact, while I'm here, let's go ahead and click that. Put that in the description. So this is your fit, okay? So this is how you can find the fit for your helmet. Now, the reason why you need to know this stuff, do NHTSA helmet head. All right, so that link will be in the description, so you might have to refresh if you're watching this live. So right here, you definitely want to find the right head shape, because if you don't, you're going to have a lot of pressure on the head, and that's going to cause headaches, and it's not going to fit right. And this tells you, oh, Toby's 2 cents. Welcome, baby. Oh! Welcome to the crew. This is how you measure it. You measure just like this. You got the adjusting the helmet. It tells you everything. You can actually, so right here, so some helmet manufacturers provide replaceable cheek pads and liners that let you adjust the interior shape and fit of the helmet. The one thing that they don't provide as in replacement is the top part. So the top part you want to get correct, and then the cheek pads and the liners you can actually replace, and it'll be a lot easier. Then style, so choosing a helmet style, there's different helmet styles. Full face helmet, modular helmet, dual sport helmet, off-road helmet, high vis, half helmet. Well, this is actually this is really in depth. I've never seen this. This has to be new. I haven't seen this yet. Anyways, they do recommend DOT. Obviously, it's NHTSA, so it's a government entity. They're not going to talk about ECE, which is in Europe, and they're not going to talk about S.M.A.R.T. They're not going to talk about SNEL. But yeah, this is a great resource, and my voice just cracked. This is a great resource. I will have that's in the description. So that's what it's talking about when it comes to long oval. Okay, this is what it talks about. Long oval is that you're gonna, if you have a regular shaped helmet but you have long oval head, you're gonna have pressure on the front of your head and on the back of your head. Is there different fitments of gear for different styles of riding? Would the knee armor and riding pants be placed in different spots compared to cruiser and sport bike? No, they won't, but based off the length of the pant. So if you have like a 35-inch inseam versus a 30-inch inseam, the armor might be placed a little bit differently, and that's one of the biggest problems. And that's what I'm trying to get with a manufacturer to kind of work with some type of modular thing. So you know how like the Kawasaki Vulcan S, it's ergo fit. You can actually like change things up. I think there should be an option for that, because a lot of places it's just like sewn in, and you can replace it, but there's no adjustment, and that's a big problem. We'll go into that. So this is when you look for a helmet, we're using the Icon Airflight as an example. I like the way it looks. Okay, cool. Now, is this helmet going to fit me? That's the biggest thing, because I don't care about how safe it is if it doesn't fit me. So I'm going to go and click on sizing chart, and you can do that too when it comes to REVZILLA. So let's do Icon Airflight. Let's do this. All right. We go down. Same thing, long oval. A lot of retailers are doing this now. So long oval. So you have it right there on the right on REVZILLA. And then on Get Lowered Cycles, you have it on the sizing chart. So long oval. Okay, we can all agree on that one. Sizing and fit, same thing. And that's usually given to you by, or given to the retailers by the manufacturers. So let's say I have a long oval shaped head. Okay, let's say I have a long oval shaped head. So I'm gonna go to the descriptions. Like, okay, so I like the look of the helmet. I like the look of the helmet. I am a long oval shaped head, so this helmet fits me great. I'm in a good mood now. So now the next thing I look for is the standards. Okay, so it talks about all this crazy stuff up here. Okay, it meets the standards. This right here is a DOT ECE approved. So that's what I care about a lot. So if I was in different areas like Australia or Japan, it's going to have SAI. It's going to have the PSC for Japan. The main thing I know is ECE 2205. I know the FMVS that's DOT, and then SNEL. Those are the ones I really focus on. Australia has a good one, but here's the thing. I look at the bottom, DOT ECE. So I like ECE. ECE is my minimum. That is my absolute minimum. If it just says DOT on the bottom, if it just says DOT, I'm not getting it. I don't care if I like the look of it. I don't care if it fits me like this. If I look over in the description and I find out it's just DOT, then no. If it says ECE approved, then yes, I'll go ahead and go for it. So that right there is where I'll go. So if you're wondering, like I said, what are the other types? So we got the round oval, intermediate oval, long oval. Once you figure out what you are, it's not like your head's going to change shapes unless you get into a motorcycle accident without a helmet. Then your head will change a shape. But for the most part, it's not going to change. What's up, John Veer? How you doing? For the most part, it's not going to change. So I know I'm intermediate oval. Now, most people, most Americans are intermediate oval. A lot of Japanese and areas of that nature are round oval. Long oval is kind of rare, but it happens. But the main ones are intermediate oval, then round oval, then long oval. So most likely you're an intermediate oval if you've never tested or tried. And one of the main ways you can try, because it does say how to size your head in diameters. It doesn't really, in a diameter, it doesn't really tell you the length and width. Okay. So one thing that you could do is that if you go to, like, let's say a cycle gear, and you're like, man, I kind of want to know what kind of head shape I am. If you try on this helmet, if you try on the Icon Air Flight, you already know it's a long oval. So go to a cycle gear, and if you can find an Icon Air Flight, so like anything local, basically, for a fact it's long oval. So if you try on, let's say, a Shoei, let's do a Shoei Hornet. This is my helmet. So let's do a Shoei Hornet and show you what that looks like. So this is my helmet. And if I go to the sizing chart, it's an intermediate oval. So from there, and it's also the RF 1200. So let's do RF 1200. That's more in the same price range. Kind of. This is a $500 helmet. It's a great helmet. This is also intermediate oval. So if you go to a REVZILLA and you got an Icon Air Flight, you know it's a long oval. You also know the Shoei RF 1200 is now an intermediate oval. Great. So now you have two helmets that are different head shapes that you can try on, kind of find out what you are. And if you want to see if you're a round oval, a lot of Arai helmets are round oval. Okay. Okay, that's intermediate oval. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if we can actually, I know on REVZILLA for a fact, if I go to helmets, click helmets, and then you can actually you can shop by head size. So round oval, the Biltwell, so Biltwell Gringo is that. The Bell Bullet is that. So let's do I know a lot of you guys are cruiser riders. I know you guys are a lot of cruiser riders, so we'll do a Biltwell lane splitter. So this is a round oval shaped head. So if you go to a cycle gear and you want to figure out what type of head shape you are, grab a Biltwell lane splitter, because that's going to be a round oval head. Grab yourself, you could do an Arai or just do an RF 1200. Because that is an intermediate oval. and then grab yourself an Icon Air Flight, and that is a long oval. So you have 3 different heads. So you have 3 different head shapes for those. Hey, Magfire, welcome, baby. Woo! You have 3 different heads, 3 different head shape helmets. You try on each one and see which one fits the best up here on the top of your head. The one that does not put pressure right here also does not put pressure on the side. So basically on the crown of your head. If you find one that does not apply any massive pressure to that, whichever one feels comfiest up here, that is more than likely your head shape. So let's say you found out you're an intermediate oval. Okay, so you want, go to REVZILLA. Now I use Get Lowered because I have an affiliate with them. So the link that I'm going to be posting in the chat right now is an affiliate link. So I'll get, I think, like, I don't know, 3-4% of the sale or some crap. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, go with them if you want. But if you want to go over here, so you went to Cycle Gear, you did all that stuff. Cycle Gear and REVZILLA are the same parent company. So if you want, you go ahead and you found out you're an intermediate oval. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shop for intermediate oval helmets only. And that's what all this is. So now that you're on here and you're like, okay, cool, I found out my head shape. Now you can actually find the helmet that is within your price range for what you want to use it for and all that stuff. I can really get into depth about, the way the helmet is shaped and designed. Is it designed for full tuck? Is it designed for sitting upright? Is it designed for cruisers where you're kind of sitting back? You can kind of get into that, and that's more of a vision issue. But for the most part, that you want to know what type of head shape you are. That's the biggest thing. Because if you don't know what head shape you are, it doesn't matter what kind of helmet you get. It could be the most badass helmet. All your friends have it, but it doesn't fit you right. It's going to hurt, and hurt. It doesn't matter what you do. It's going to hurt. So now that we kind of figured out our head shape, let's just go ahead and pick a helmet. The Belt Qualifier Deluxe is actually a pretty good helmet. It's $157. It's an intermediate oval head. It's like, okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and click that one. I'm going to take a look at it. And then you do want to do your size chart. So you want to kind of figure out how to measure your head. So you kind of know what helmet you can get. So I'm typically a medium. This is why you always want to measure your head if you're buying online or try it on in the store if you're there. Okay, so then I look down. I'm like, okay, sweet. DOT and ECE certified. So this is the one I care about. ECE certified. Great. Okay, cool. So now that I found that out, okay, this is the helmet. It's within my price range. I like the look of it. It looks pretty cool. It's ECE certified minimum. Okay, now let's look at some of the features. Okay, it also depends on the policy. A lot of times, you guys, if you buy a helmet from REVZILLA, and this is the only one I know, because I've bought helmets from REVZILLA and returned them. If you buy a helmet from REVZILLA or you buy any gear from them, do not go ride with it. The moment you ride with it, and they're gonna tell by like blemishes and bugs and whatever, the moment you ride with it, they won't take it back. Okay, so what I would do is I would buy the helmet, take it home, and I'd wear it inside the house. I'd wear it for at least 30 minutes. It looks weird, but I'm walking around the house, wearing it, seeing how comfortable it is, just walking around. So that's another thing. But when I look at this, I want to take a look at all these other things. So adjustable ventilation system, okay. Padded wind collar, okay. So that's the little neck thing right there. Okay, moisture wicking, removable. So right here, removable, washable interior. I like that. I want to be able to remove it and wash it. Contour cheek pads, whatever. So chin curtain, great. Okay. And breath deflector, that will help out with fogging. Aerodynamic profile, okay, whatever. That's all marketing stuff. Integrated speaker pockets, typically all of them do. I don't really care too much about the integrated speaker pockets. I use headphones hooked into my my Bluetooth system. Quick release for the fastest, safest, tool-free shield changes ever. That only really matters if you change your shield out all the time, which you should when it comes to when you go to nighttime. You want to go to clear visor. So anti-fog, so Nutrifog 2 anti-fog, anti-scratch, and UV protected shield. I don't really care too much about that marketing gimmick. and I'll tell you a little bit why later. So this one right here, this is a big one. So it includes both clear and dark smoke face shield. So that you have a nighttime and you have a daytime helmet right here, right out of the box for $157. And the reason why I wanted to talk a little bit about that, oh, one sec, 5-year warranty. Typically, they're all 5-year warranties. Okay. So the reason why I talk about the both clear and dark face shield is that if you go buy a helmet and it comes with a dark shield, that's kind of cool and all. But when it gets to nighttime, you're going to have a problem. So what I typically do is when I look at a helmet like this, okay, $157.95, cool. Well, how much is it for a replacement shield? Look at that. For a clear shield, it's $40. Add $40 to that price tag. And if you really want to get crazy and you want to do like a silver iridium or dark silver iridium like I do, it's $64.95. So now you're adding into the price. So this is why you need to start really looking at all these extra features. All these extra features. Okay. So there's that. So I'll look at that. And then when it comes to this Nutrifog thing, like I said, I don't really care too much. So what's another feature that I personally don't want to buy a helmet without? And that is going to be the pin lock. So I want a pin lock system. I know we're focusing on helmets right now. We're going to focus a little bit more on other stuff. But right here, I want a pin lock system. So what is a pin lock system? The pin lock system is this little piece of this little piece of, how can I explain it? Plastic that goes within right here. You can see that little clip in right there in the middle. And it goes on here. It's basically a double pane window. Okay, so it's basically a double pane window. So this whole section that is covered by that pin lock will not fog up. This part right here on the sides, it will. But this whole section will not fog up. It's a double pane window. So when I look for a helmet and it doesn't offer the pin lock system within the visor, then I'm going to have a problem. So pin lock enabled is what I really care about. So when I look at this replacement visor, I don't think it's pin lock enabled. Quick release. No. Does not have a pin lock in it. Doesn't look like you can add one. So this one right here, the Bell Qualifier, is a great helmet. It's safe. It will fit me. It will do everything. But it doesn't come with a pin lock. So for me, I don't want to get it. But then again, there's a lot of good anti-fog sprays that you could probably just do instead of having the pin lock system in it. But the pin lock makes it to where it's a piece of hardware, and it's like I don't have to mess with it. And that's what I like about it. What's my opinion on customizing helmets? I have ram horns and jaws on mine, Magic Afro. It's up to you. Some places it's illegal. Some places it's not. If it can easily be broken away from the helmet, then that's cool. Okay, that's fine. The thing you don't want is it to be pretty much a permanent fixture to your helmet, and then when you go into a crash, it yanks your head, and that causes a neck injury or causes rotation with your brain. That's what I'm worried about. Can you show some Scorpion? Yeah, I can show some Scorpion. I'm not going to spend too much time on the helmets because I kind of talked about them. Let's do a full face. Which one do you want to do? Which one you want to do? The Scorpion XO. So this one's Snell certified, Snell 2010 certified. I'm wondering why it's not Snell 2015 or even 2020. Quick wick, moisture wicking helmet liner. That could be good. Easily removable and washable. That's what I care about. I don't care about this marketing. Whenever you see like quick wick or quick fit or Elliptech ratchet system, air fit, Everclear, no fog, that's all marketing, guys. That's all branded names. Okay, I don't care about that. What I care about is after the fact. So what does Everclear mean? No fog face shield. Okay, optically correct shield with state-of-the-art fog-free technology and I don't care. State-of-the-art fog-free. State-of-the-art means it's not proven yet. That's all that means. State of the art has not been proven yet. Okay, if you just tell me it's fog free, I don't need state of the art. Okay, anti-scratch hardened coating. Okay, fine, whatever. Like those types of things, it's just like I don't really care. I really don't. What do I get for $169.99? I get it. It's on sale. It's on closeout. I get it. Okay. Emergency release cheek pads. Okay, so you got the little pull tabs. That's good. It comes with a bonus dark smoke shield, so that's good. Okay. Pin lock max vision. So pin lock. It's got a pin lock system in it. It looks like it's pin lock. I don't know. Ready flat shields with tear off posts are available as an accessory for the track. Okay. So you could definitely find ones that look alike. I mean, $169.99 is a really good price for a Snell rated helmet, but they're out of stock of everything. All right, so there's that. I guess you're still living in Arizona. I've been worried about you, my friend, with COVID hitting so hard there. Yeah, we've been good. We've been staying home. What do you think of the Panda Moto gear? I have the Dyneema armored shirt and leggings designed to go under regular clothes. Okay, all right, let's take a look at that. Sure. Take a look. Is this what you're talking about right here? Back to that. Is this what you're talking about? Pando Moto. Armored shirt. Take a look. Okay. Okay. So what it looks like, contrast is pretty crazy. So what it looks like is that if you had a regular jacket, this is like a regular jacket without the abrasion resistance. So you have the armor in the back, you have the armor on elbows and shoulders. Good. But here what's the use case? Like for me it's like when I have this, like when I get off my motorcycle and I go into a store and I take off my jacket, this is what I have underneath. So I'm wearing like this flex fit armored jacket, you know. Well, one's if you want to wear regular clothes. So my biggest problem is that this has that impact protection, but it doesn't have that. I mean, it says high abrasion resistance. 40% Dyneema. Maybe I'm wrong on this. What is Dyneema? No, we use Kevlar in fire service. Dyneema is an abrasion-resistant material. That's an aramid fiber. An aramid fiber like Kevlar. It's like Kovik. Dyneema is abrasion-resistant. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, if the science and I'll read more. I don't know too much about Dyneema, but if that's the case, okay. So now with the new head or a new thought process on this one, let's take a look at it again. So thank you. You know, this is the whole point. We're all learning. Um, okay. So when I think about this, then this is like wearing a motorcycle jacket. So you're wearing a motorcycle jacket with this. This is a motorcycle jacket. So you got the impact protection for your back, you got it for your shoulders, elbows, and then you have abrasion resistance. But where is, so it says this unisex model is made of 40% Dyneema. Where is the Dyneema? Where is the aramid fiber? You know, so you got, oh, so optional back protection. So that's where you got to watch out for. So make sure you get it. But you got armor and all the other areas. Where is the Dyneema? Okay, so that's why. So you got cotton, some Dyneema warp and weft. Okay. Well, see, that's the thing is it doesn't look too bad. I'm going through a thought experiment with you guys. Don't like I'm thinking like this is what if I'm gonna buy this, I'm thinking right now. So when I see this, I think it's really cool. I think it's like, you know, all you really need, you know, one stop. But man, I don't walk around like this. I mean, I got a long sleeve on. You know? I got a long sleeve on. So I mean, like I could do that. But like I don't know if I want to walk around with that. You know what I mean? Like how cool, like it says it keeps you cool, but how cool is it? Let's see. Armored long sleeve shirts. Okay, highly heat conducting and conducting. Heat conducting. That right there is kind of maybe the wording on that conducting. I don't want heat to be conducted. You know what I mean? Because when you're in a motorcycle crash, you're pulling in heat. It's a heat injury. It's an abrasion. It's creating friction. It's a friction burn, basically. Heat conducting and reflecting fabric. So I mean, it's like, so I think what they're trying to say is that you can wear it in the wintertime and in the summertime. It's perfect for both. Doesn't trap heat. I don't know. Conducting is like that's when you touch. That's when it like a piece of metal is touching fire. The handle's hot because it's conducting heat. Okay. All right. There's conduction, convection, radiation. Conduction is when something's actually physically touching heat. Convection is when you're above, you know, a flame and you feel the hot gases. Radiation is like the sun. So when I see highly heat conducting, you know what I mean? I don't know. So fully CE approved. Okay, I don't know what that really means. CE approved. It applies to the armor. Performance level A. So when it comes to that, I know there's different levels. So abrasion, distance, grade. I know there is grades to that. I think A is a good one. I think it goes down and it tells you all the stuff right there. And it all depends on how they tested it. There's different testing methods. There's one where it's like a circle and just keeps spinning, and there's one that's just like a belt sander. It all depends. Low profile protection for unrestricted movements. That's what I like. Double mesh in the armpits and sleeves for increased ventilation. Okay. Due to the comfortable tight cut of the armor is secured in place and doesn't move around. Okay. Free 34 euros worth of SASTEC triple flex CE approved elbow and shoulder. Optional in the back. So E level EN 1621-2. Okay. Thoughts on riding with a race suit in the street? I know it provides more protection in the jacket pants combo, but is over the top. Don't see very many street. Not a lot of street riders do it because it's expensive. That's what it is, and it's a pain in the ass to get in and out. It's a pain in the ass to get in and out. That's the only reason why. It's typically one of those things where you put it on, you don't take it off for a while. That's why a lot of people don't do it. A lot of commuters want to wear stuff like this so that it can be easily taken on and off or worn all the time. Oh, A is the lowest rating and AAA is the highest? Okay. So I was thinking it was like B, C, D, and like D was the highest. So I thought it was like something backwards or something different. It transfers heat, meaning the opposite of insulation. Well, where is it transferring? Where's the heat transferring? To your skin? See, that's what I'm talking about. Right here, I don't know too much, and I'm already having questions. My gut says no. My gut just says no. Because when I see this and I see the price tag also 239 euros, when I see that, I could just go up to here and I could just do riding gear. Let's do textile jacket. Let's do, man, it's already cheaper. Look at that. Joe Rockets are good. Reacts is REVZILLA and Cycle Gear's product. I have Reacts. I have a Reacts jacket, pants, and gloves. I like them. Those are those black pants I have. Let's just do. Let's do for the same price. Let's compare same price. Go out of that. Out of that. 239 euros. Let's just 39. 229. It doesn't matter if you're serious with the race suit. The race suit gives you the best abrasion resistance and the best impact protection. It's just it's a pain in the ass. And you could do the same thing with other stuff. So right here, this is a jacket. This is for when temperatures climb. Okay, so this is more like a summer jacket. And that's another thing is you want to see if it's a summer or not. So this is part of the spring collection. Okay. Let's read more. All right, it's geared for summer riding. So for me, that'd be great. Cool. You know, I got that. Let's see. Removable composite protectors on elbows and shoulders. So you got protection right away. I like how this is set up. Ergonomics and fit. That's another thing is you want to make sure it fits good for that position that you're in. So you got adjustments. Okay, so when we're going to talk about women's gear pretty soon. So neck adjustment, sleeve adjustment, waist adjustment, wrist adjustment. Whenever you guys gain weight, lose weight, just different body types than what was designed for, you can make adjustments. And that's what I like. External fabric with water-resistant treatment. Very good. Perforated fabric. So that means you're going to have a lot of airflow going through to you. 2 pockets, inner, outer. You have a chest protector, a pocket for Pro Armor chest protector, and a pocket for G1 or G2 back protector, reflective inserts. So here's something that you don't get with the other thing. You don't get with this. And it's cheaper. Is that you get an option for a chest protector. So that right there, not a lot of jackets offer chest protection. Yeah, Dynasy, I don't know how you spell it or say it. They do offer weird-ass options. But here's the thing. One thing I found for women is that not a lot of American companies make good women's sizes. One thing I found is that the Dainese or Dainese, whatever you want to call it, and some Italian manufacturers make decent sizes for women, especially shorter women. That's the thing. I know I'm jumping ahead, but do you have any suggestions on boots? Looking for any resemblance of Red Wing boots, but meant for riding? Yeah, okay, cool. I'll try to keep that in mind. So when you have the option for chest and back protector, once again, look at it. Okay, so chest protection, back protection. So chest protection, another $50, well worth it. Back protection, $90, well worth it. So you're adding these to your price, but the thing is you don't have to do that price right away. You can always add that later, but it's definitely recommended for that. Yeah, definitely chest protection is huge. But then here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Just think about this. Like now this is like we're going through all this gear and all what we can pretty much do. We got chest protection, back protection. It's $90, $50, 140 on top of this. 140 plus 130 is what, 370 already. So $370 just for this jacket. Let's take a look at this. Tech Air 5. What do you say, 370? This is an airbag vest, guys. This is an airbag vest. So we're getting close to that, right? So $370, 700 bucks. We're starting to get close. We're starting to get close. And that was a cheap jacket. That was roughly the same price. We take a look at some of these other jackets. Go back to riding gear. Let's go to this. Riding gear, jackets and vests. So 700 bucks for an airbag vest. Let's do sport bike jackets. I think a lot of you guys are sport bikes. So 700 bucks for the other jacket. Let's say we're like, man, I got some money. I want to buy like a really nice jacket, like super nice. All right, so that's an air part for the airbag. Like, I want to get a nice jacket. You know, let's get some crazy shit. You know, 269 already just for this Alpine Stars jacket. 500 bucks for a dry jacket. 579, 459. You know, if you go and get a leather jacket, Roland Sands leather jacket, it's 650 bucks. Roland Sands makes some great jackets. I actually have one. I have a wax cotton jacket. Got it on sale at the place in Long Beach. I actually went to the store and got it on clearance. But I mean, 650 bucks, and you get a Tech Air jacket for a little bit more. So I think once the Tech Air jackets or the airbag jackets go down in price, we'll start looking at it. And we just looked at mesh jackets. I mean, we can look at leather jackets, women's jackets. Let's look at women's jackets. And we're already looking in the 200s and whatnot. So if you notice right away on women's jackets compared to men's jackets, you got that little curve. It's contoured to look good, I guess. I mean, I don't know, because it seems to me that, like, when you do that, it makes your mid drift. It almost makes it like the bottom of the jacket is a little too high to me. But one jacket the jacket Nikki has. The one that Nikki has is this one. Yeah, we got Nikki this one. This one fit her really well. And she's tiny. She's very tiny. I think she got a small, maybe extra small. But you always want to look at the sizing charts, because a small in fly racing is different than a small in built. The difference in all. What's up, Rainen? How you doing? There are differences everywhere. Okay, so when I look for jackets, here's the thing, guys. When I look for jackets, I look for if they include the elbow and shoulder, and then an option for back. If they have an option for chest, great. Okay, work with that. Your best bet is to always go to a local dealer to check out the stuff they have, try it on, and then price. You know, you're a consumer. You can figure out if they price match, great. Buy it local. But I know a lot of you guys can't even do that right now because of how everything is at. You don't want to try on gear with COVID going on. I understand that. One thing that you want to watch out for is that when you buy a jacket, this right here. So PE, protective PE, that should definitely just be removed. It's not protective at all. PE is not protect. You want CE approved armor. CE approved armor. Protective PE is that flimsy ass, just cushioned foam that will not offer impact protection. It's like a comfort thing. The Dainese D Air, I think they're great. I think Alpine Stars is a little bit better because they have a better price point, and Charlie Sweet just became a crew member, baby. Oh! So I think Alpine Stars has them beat right now. I think they're both good. There's a lot of things that go into it. So I think I need to be a little more concise when it comes to, what's going on with this gear. So I'm going to go ahead and create another video on this so I could be a little more concise and I can give you the bullet points and tell you exactly what you should be looking out for. I do have a little bit of it on my my beginner's guide to motorcycle riding. I do have a little bit of that information. So if you want to check it out, the link's right there. It talks a little bit more about that. It goes a little bit more in depth on, what DOT is, Snell, ECE, all that stuff, what to look out for, EN 1621, EN 1622, or EN 1621-1, EN 1621-2, what that means when it comes to CE rated armor, and all that. So when it comes to pants, oops, I got out of REVZILLA. Let's go to REVZILLA. So let's go, excuse me. Go to pants. So riding gear. Let's do, what do I look for in pants? Go to pants. All right, so it all depends on what you want. Do you want denim? Like, do you want jeans? Do you want mesh pants? Textile? So textile is, all that means is just not leather. Okay, so you got riding, leather, textile, mesh, motocross. So it's almost like different categories and then different fabrics at the same time. So riding jeans, that can be considered a textile pant, but jean as in denim. Okay, so there's different weights of denim, heavyweight, low end weight, 14 ounce versus 15 ounce versus 9 ounce, different types. Leather, that's gonna be leather. Textile, that's gonna be aramid fibers, like the typical motorcycle pants that you see out there. Mesh pants, it's gonna be more like summer riding type stuff, and motocross pants typically does not offer street level protection, so do not wear motocross pants on the road. It's designed for off-road. So a lot of people like denim, especially cruiser riders. I mean, look at that. They kind of got you right there. So denim, riding jeans, I like them. Here's the thing. They look amazing. Riding jeans can look amazing. They don't breathe very well. Who here has ever hiked with jeans before? Once they get sweaty, they get a little heavy. They start to sag. They start to kind of stretch out a little bit, but then they're not very flexible. And then they're just heavy. So when you're riding, it's not that big of a deal. But then once you get off the bike to go, fill up the gas tank or go inside the store, you're going to get that saggy butt looking feel. And then it's going to be heavy on you. And then you're going to just be like, ugh, it's hot. It doesn't breathe very well. But then that also plays into, it's like, well, if it doesn't breathe very well and it's hot and I'm sweating in it, and that's going to make it a problem. Well, if I wear it in the wintertime, it's not going to be that big of a deal. And that's true. That's true. So wintertime, they're not the worst. Summertime, they suck ass. It's so true. We got these for Nikki, I believe. Or we tried them on. So these are for women. Okay, so these are for women, and they offer quite a bit. I think we got the Fury or the Super Jeggings. I think we tried the Jeggings. I think we got the Bullet. Yeah, we got these ones. Never mind. SP120 Light Fury leggings. So these ones, this is what I like about Bullet, that they offer what you're supposed to be looking at. Okay, so speed. So the furthest to the right is kind of like how fast you're going, how long you can skid, all these other things, time. But the one thing I like is this part right here, is where they show where the aramid fibers are. So when you see right here, right on the bottom, this is normal like denim or a fabric that is easily ripped. Same thing with the black way up there in the groin area is where it rips. The thing is, you really only need it where you typically have the abrasion. So this right here is on the knees. So you see the armor insert on the knees, and around the knees is where the aramid fibers are. And then in the trunk, right on the butt, you slide across your butt. So this is fine. This is typically all you need when you're out riding, is that placement for aramid fibers. And here's the thing: is if you have it completely throughout the whole leg, aramid fibers like Kevlar do not breathe very well. Yeah, so ZX10R Deb, exactly. I was going to actually get to that point, is that Bullet jeans, BULL-IT jeans, are great for women. They have a ton of women's gear, a ton of it. And Nikki said that this one is actually not that hot to sit in compared to a few others that we've tried on. So, in fact, let's go to Bullet. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. Do a new tab. This is, this one right here, this is fine. I just think there's better options out there. I like the idea. I think Icon just came out with something like this. I like the idea because then you could just throw on a regular shirt on top and then ride around like that. That way it doesn't feel like it's a jacket. But I prefer to have a jacket so I can take a jacket off, and then underneath I just have a normal shirt. I like dressing in layers when it comes to stuff. Let's do Bullet. Bullet jeans. What's up, Janos? How you doing? So Kovek is their aramid fiber. So Kovac, and then we had the other people, and then we have Kevlar. We have all that stuff. So now we're gonna kind of move into women's jeans and pants, because that's gonna be the biggest problem. I think finding good pants and a good jacket for women is just one of the most stupid shit ever. And I'm gonna cuss a little bit because this is the problem that Nikki and I had. We tried. I don't know how much money I spent in returning just so we can find the right piece of gear. And I know Rain, and I don't know if you're still in here, but I think you've had a problem with the jacket before too. But right here, look at, they have really good sizes. A lot of the times you're gonna find motorcycle pants for women. They're gonna be either too short, too long, have the stupidest waist. You know, you're just gonna have a huge problem. So we've got the women's Fury 2 jegging. And jegging, it sounds kind of dumb. Like AAA reinforcement. So whoever, I forgot who said, write it in the chat, whoever said AAA, AA, abrasion resistance, and A is the bottom. Here, like AAA. So good shit. So A-rated protection, but AAA reinforcement in zone 1. So what's zone 1? You know, you start thinking about like, well, what the hell is zone 1? So it's like, well, okay, you said zone 1. Okay, so high risk area right here, zone 1, are reinforced in Kovac's light liner testing. So high risk zones, where's that? Oh, okay, so the high risk zones are going to be the areas that is basically right here. You see the trunk and you see the knees. So that's where you have the AAA resistance. Supplied with the latest CE level 2 polyurethane knee pads. Okay, very good. Wickaway lining for moisture management, all day riding comfort. So shower resistant, super lightweight, thermal barrier, so keeps heat in, or it keeps warmth in, it removes heat or reflects heat. So maybe that's what the conducting means. It's breathable, cut resistant, abrasion resistant, CE approved, A rated, but it's triple A rated in those areas. And so it's like, well, I want AAA rating in everything, right? It's like, I want AAA. It's AAA is the best according to EU standard. Awesome. So they talk about how they do it. All right, let's just take a look. Let's look so you guys get some more information. This is what I do. Is there supposed to be audio? I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything. I don't think there's audio. All right, so supposedly... Okay, so relative, let's go back. The low heat transfer, very good. Prolonged performance, okay, good. Okay, Kovac, so has naturally high impact abrasion, higher than aramids, for example. So aramid fiber, polyamide, all those way above my skill level, what I know. Relative cut resistance, so that's good. So you don't want to hit like a rock when you're sliding and then all of a sudden it rips it over. Audio is over budget. Breakdown point. So higher the better. Okay, high heat. So aramid fibers typically char. Okay, they don't typically melt. Same thing with cotton, but it does look like there is a melting point for this one. Moisture regain percentage. So lower the better. So Kevlar is an aramid. All right, still. Oh, okay. So this is a new safety rating, the FIM. That's gonna be a new safety rating for helmets. So Snell and ECE and all that stuff. All right. So what's the rest? All right. I don't. Oh, drag test. Let's take a look. Oh, there we go. Woo! Benixia, I have that too. I love it. Whoa, hey-oh. Baby. Oh, did you see that? You see that? Tactless tortoise, they're going to try to make FIM the new best standard. Did you guys see that? So I'm also, like, when I'm seeing this, it's like, it makes me want to buy it. Okay, so they're looping in their waist belt through their jacket. You see that? See that? So, I wonder what kind of jacket this is. Because that will keep your jacket and your pant together. Because if you slide on if somebody pulls your legs right now and like they're dragging you across the ground, and your shirt starts to slide up, well, guess what? That happens with a jacket if you're sliding across the ground. So this right here is pretty cool because typically with denim pants they don't have that option. So if you look at if any of you have like a mesh pant, so you were talking about the Ultimesh jacket. Well, if you have the Ultimesh jacket and Ultimesh pants, there's a zipper on the back that you can actually zip your jacket to your pants so that it doesn't slide off. But with denim, they typically don't have that. So that's actually kind of cool. And this right here, I don't know if this is a feature of the pant, is having this like little bootstrap thing. Somebody come up with the real name for that. That's pretty cool too, because you also don't want your pant leg to slide up. But that's also why I have motorcycle boots that are long all the way up to mid calf, high calf. That way, even if it does slide up, I still have that protection. Oh, it's a bullet jacket. Okay. The one pair of Volok bullet jeans, 4 drag tests, conditions are dry, surfaces abrasive, reinforced concrete. Let's do it. Let's do it. So 11 seconds is quite a long time for just one spot. So think about that. What's up here and now? How you doing here and now? How you doing? Guys, we did an AAR one of here and now's videos. So 11, like how long was that? 12 seconds? Almost 12 seconds is a very long time to be dragged or drug on that one spot. Okay, so it's like everyone's thinking, okay, well, he's only going like, 6 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour, maybe. But 12 seconds is a long time. So, like, you could easily equate that to going 40, 50, 60 and only hitting the knees, for a split second here and there. And you're going to probably get something like this with that split second or maybe a full second on the ground at that speed. So, a 12 second at that low speed is actually pretty good. And if this is all the damage is, if that's all the damage is, that's pretty good. And you can notice it's only the top layer. Oh, whoa, wait. Matt's pushing the buttons. That's only the top layer. So there's a layer underneath. So this right here is the denim. So the cotton on the top, and then underneath it's like a mesh fabric. It's layered so that you can see the white right there above my head. That right there is the Kovec. That is the Kovec. So that hasn't been damaged. So a little bit faster this time, same everything. It started to tear through. But not completely. That's pretty damn good. Now downhill with his butt. So that right there, so he is being drug up. that's like you falling down, and that's a typical response. You know, you're gonna hit your knees and have that impact on the knees. So the armor there is very important, and then you have the abrasion resistance on the knees. That's why when it showed that diagram of where the aramid fibers were, is knees and trunk. So this is now testing the trunk. When we talked about tearing, okay, so if the fabric gets torn away, you're pretty much done. It doesn't matter how good it is at abrasion resistance. If it tears the back, it's just gone. So the denim itself got tore and it got abrasioned off, right? But you can see the white still there. Okay, so what you want with good motorcycle pants and jeans is that you want it to be abrasion resistant, but also not transfer the heat from the ground, because that's friction. And your rug burn for a little bit is going to cause pain. You can still have a thermal burn underneath. I'm gonna tell you right now, nobody slides for 12 seconds. You're gonna ragdoll and flip around and have impacts. So right in here, what we're doing is testing the abrasion resistance. Held up. Probably started to feel a little bit of heat. But here's the thing, this is what I like about companies that do these test videos, is that you actually get a visual example of what the hell all that marketing means, right? You actually get a visual example of it. So right away, Bullet is a good brand, for jeans at least. Look at that. It took 42 seconds of being drug across the ground. So when they talk about all this stuff and they focus on safety first, and they don't care about, you know, what it looks like at first, they care about safety. Like this right here is what I like. So it gives you all the abrasion areas, the tear strength, all that stuff. They tell you everything. I want Bullet to sponsor this channel. I want Bullet to be like, all right, let's give a discount to the crew. You know, like I would love that. See, like this tactical hoodie, that looks great. All right, AA rated. High performance cut and tear. Okay, we all know that. Kovek. Okay, we just saw what happened with the pants. CE level 1, or I'm sorry, CE 1621 level 2 shoulder elbow back as standard. So it comes with the back as standard. That's really good. Zip in out thermal liner. So that's good for winter and not winter time. So basically just pure summer here in Tucson. You get the little hook and loop closure, so that's really good. YKK zippers, those are good zippers. All right, so when we look at this is what I like to see. Right here. So it's like, well, why don't we have the reinforcement zone in the front? Well, typically when you crash, you're not like doing this, right? Your natural response for the human body is to do this, right? As best you can, but you know, you're flipping around, so your arms are flailing, your arms are getting hit, abrasion. You're typically trying to protect your core. So reinforced with zone 1, or reinforced zone 1 with Kovek. So you got the shoulders, and then you have the forearms all the way around is zone 1. Kovek super stretch denim shell in the elbow, so you can actually move your elbows, but it's got a denim and Kovek in it. It has level 2 shoulder, elbow, and back already in it. Waterproof front pocket. So not a lot of people think about that, you know? It's like I got my phone in my pocket. I don't want it wet, right? So I think this is like Bullet, they're pretty serious about this crap. Like, man, I want them. I want them to give us a discount. I want, you know, if you guys are on Twitter and all that stuff, or if you're on Instagram, tell them, hey, Dan the Fireman, let's sponsor Dan the Fireman, because I'm gonna try to get you guys a huge discount on this. Serious. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, that's pretty cool too. Yeah, you want to follow me on Twitter? Let's see. How many people do I have following me right now? Oh, 1,017 people. Nice. Yeah, tag me and tag them. Tag me and tag them. See if we can get that so we can get a discount for you guys. Here's the thing. I don't need pants. I don't need jackets. I don't need any of that stuff. But if they sponsor me and they send me something for free, you know, whatever. But if I get that discount for you guys, hell yeah. I don't need it. Don't tell them that. They got jeans. So let's go back to women. Sorry, guys. So right now they have, okay, so they got straight, slim, skinny pants. So right now that's all they have is pants for women. But they're pretty damn good. Okay, so you can get straight fit. Let's look at straight fit. So those of you that are super tall or just like it. So we go down, same thing. You got abrasion resist up on the top, on the knee, and then it's gonna be on the trunk, on the butt. The one problem that I see happening with women is that this part right here, it's a super high waist. It's a super high waist. That's the biggest problem. Then fitment of where the armor is on the knees can be a problem. So if they have anything that's adjustable, look how high the waist is. Women, you guys know what I'm talking about. Women, you guys, yeah. You know what I'm talking about right here. That's a high waist, right? So just be aware of that. But here's the thing: don't be afraid of a high waist for motorcycle pants, because we just talked about how the jacket will kind of flip up if you slide. So having something high waist, that just means there's more protection for that area. The higher that is, the more protection. That means your skin is not being in contact with the ground. So don't be afraid of having overlapping high waist. It's not perfect, you know, where the jacket meets the pants, and that's kind of it. Remember, when you are in a crash, it's a dynamic scenario where you're flipping and flopping everywhere. You want to have that high waist. Another view of it. So yeah, that's a high waist. So but that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'd rather have that than nothing. Is there anything on closeout? Quite a bit on closeout. They have jackets on closeout. That's pretty cool. Go back a little bit though. So when it comes to finding gear, when it comes to finding stuff, you also want to see if it's breathable. What type of riding is it designed for? So this is for fair weather riding due to its ultra lightweight construction. So like you want to pick something that's not gonna be super hot or super cold, and it all depends. You know, you might want something super hot. You might want something that breathes. So kind of want to, you know, look into that kind of stuff. But yeah, I like the fact that it does this. I like that it does that. It shows you what everything is. That's really important. Yeah, the women's inseam could be a problem. Yeah, so you can cut the legs off, you can do all that stuff, but just remember where the knee insert lands is very important too. So gloves, gloves are pretty much like an extension of your jacket. So find a mesh glove that fits. You know, you can find ones. Let's just go to gloves. So the only things I really look for gloves is if they look cool and they fit well. That's all I care about. There's short cuff, gauntlet, and a few others. So you got like these you got race gloves, dirt bike, winter, waterproof. So short cuff, great for summertime. Don't offer that protection on your wrist. Chris fam, yes, I do. I can't wait for him to show back up though. You know what I'm saying? Firm handshakes, bro. Gauntlet gloves, so that's going to be further down your wrist, and that's good for wintertime, so you can have more you can have it over your jacket so the wind won't go in. Race is going to be a little bit stiffer, so more protection, but maybe not as comfortable. Dirt bike, basically no protection, very lightweight. Winter, it's kind of like the same thing when you go to Gauntlet or not. Gauntlet, you can, get mesh too, but winter is pretty much going to be like a thermal liner and a few other things. Waterproof, you're going to have Gore-Tex and a few other things. So those are the things you want to look at. But whenever I'm looking at gloves, I'm just going to point out real quick some of the things I look for when it comes to a glove. Let's do the Reacts one. Let's do the one I have. Reacts. Do the glove I got. So I got the Reacts Tasker gloves. So I got these ones. So these are the ones I wear. And the reason why I chose them is, for one, I like leather. I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. I have nothing against textile. I like textile too, but I just wanted leather again. So when I looked at this and I was double checking for safety on top of that, because remember what I said, you find the thing that looks good to you, and then you look at safety, and then you look at fitment, then you look at safety. So with this one, I like the way they looked. I put them on, they fit great. Now it's time for safety. I see this right here on the palm. You see that black leather? So this is stitched separately on top of the brown. And this is an impact protection. This is a, you put your hands out when you're falling down, and that's a pad. That's a protection. You also have reinforced leather across the top and your throttle, basically, and that's for when you grab the throttle and you twist. That's for durability. And then you see this little black spot on the thumb, and it's also on the index finger. That's for touching a touch screen. Now, a lot of you guys are probably like, well, you shouldn't be on your phone, right? You shouldn't be on your phone. You shouldn't be messing around with that stuff. Well, guess what, guys? TFT screens are going to be are going to take over analog. Okay, so all those screens like the the MT07s and the Indian FTR 1200S, it has a touch screen. So I don't want to be thimble fucking with with the touch. Guys, I don't care. Right? Today we're in class. It's all good, right? We're all having a good time. Are you guys having a good time? Okay, just making sure. Anyways, that way you can touch the screen and change the settings and whatnot. So like I can actually touch the screen and put it in sport mode, or I can put it in rain mode or standard mode. I can turn on traction control. I can turn it off. So all those things I want to be able to control while I'm riding if I have to. All of a sudden it downpours. I don't want to have to like try to apply the brakes and get off the side of the road if it's not safe to do so. If it just means I could just do a quick little flip and hit rain mode, then that's good. So having a touchscreen enabled glove is not the worst thing. In fact, it's becoming more and more important. Also, you see the knuckle protection on the outside. So when you hit the ground like this, you want to protect your knuckles. That's very important. And then the closure is also very important. This isn't the best enclosure. Okay, the best closure. The Velcro, it's not the best. That could rip off in a crash. But that is just a risk I'm willing to take because I like the way it looks and the way it feels. Okay. So ergonomic pre-curve fit. Once again, just try it on, see if you like it. Touchscreen enabled, very good. Cowhide is very good. If you find one that's just all like kangaroo, kangaroo is very soft and subtle, or supple. So you want the kangaroo on the inside, but then on the outside where the abrasion is, you want cowhide. Let's see, like a durable goat leather palm. So the goat leather is very smooth and very easy and a little bit stretchy. Cowhide is not as much, so you want cowhide for the abrasion. On the inside, kangaroo or goat. Digital leather palm and outseam reinforcement. So digits. So there you go. Flex ribbing on knuckles and back of hand. Perforated leather fourchettes. So that's that perforation. So it does have a little bit of a perforation. You can see the little dots. Those are just little holes. So it allows a little bit of breathability. And it has it on the other side too. Yeah, you can't see it. Has just a little bit. Vibration dampening palm pad insert. So that's what they're saying about this. That's a dampening, but at the same time, it's meant for impact protection. But that's another thing you might want to look into. If your hands get numb while riding, you have a pad like that. And there's other ways to get rid of the vibrations, you know, bar end weights and all that stuff. Let's see, adjustable hook loop. Yeah, hook and loop is not the greatest, not the best. Zippers or a full-on gauntlet is very good. Let's see what this one is. This is also a hook and loop. But you see the pad? This is definitely just for vibration and resistance. Another thing that I look into is stitching. You see how this part right here on the bottom is double stitched, and then this right here is single stitched? Stitching is very important. It doesn't matter how strong your stuff is. If it can't stay together in a crash, it's going to fall apart. So I always look for double stitching. Always look for double stitching. All right, let's move on to boots. Spending a lot of time on this one. You know what? We're not going to go to crashes. We're not going to do crashes. We'll do that. I'll save this for tomorrow. I'll hit like. But like. We're going to move into a Q&A section pretty soon. If you guys have questions on any of this stuff. Boots. I prefer, like I said, mid-calf to high-calf boots. So you see these big boots over here, and then you see short boots and shoes, tall boots, cruiser. Like, the cruise, all it means when it says cruiser / Harley boots is that they're leather, and somebody was asking about, you know, having ones that are like Red Wings and stuff. That's where you're going to find them. Adventure touring are going to be a little bit higher, but a little bit more flexible in the ankle because you get off and walk. Dirt boots and track race boots do not have a lot of ankle flexibility. They're not designed for walking around in. They're designed for riding in. So they're not going to have the best flexibility. So if you do get like a track boot for the street, just realize you're going to be walking around like you have ski boots on. If any of you have walked around with ski boots on, you know what I'm talking about. You know, while we're here, let's just go ahead. Oh, we're in the class. It's fine. All right, everybody. We're in the class. Go ahead and relax. Yeah, today there's a lot of people in class for gear. Since there's so many people here, this is how I'm gonna go figure out like what you guys really want. Is that since there's almost 600 people in class today, learning about gear, I'm gonna make a video series on this. There's just too much information to cover in just 2 hours. So I'm gonna remember, guys. Part of the Smart Rider principle is what? A, acquiring personal protective equipment and utilizing it. That's what we're going over today. That's what we're going over today. Maybe I can talk to somebody at REVZILLA to give me a better description of a lot of these things and maybe collab with them. Who knows? All right, so what I like to do is I like to have tall boots. I just go for tall boots, okay? The reason why I go for tall boots is because I do want that ankle. I do want that calf. I do want that shin protection. Who here has seen that Harley rider that was riding and I think he hit a deer on his left leg and he looks down and his foot's just doing this? You know, that's why I want this. Now, it might not have prevented it, but it could have been better than a full-on break like he had. So, right, I have the Icon Elsinores. I have the Icon Elsinores. This is the HP version. I don't have the HP. I have the old version. I'm a 10.5. All right, so this is what I have. Now, when I bought them, I was all about the looks. I had a Cafe Racer or a Cafe Sportster, and then I turned it into a Scrambler. So this matched, right? This matched what I was doing. But I also kind of looked for the protection. So it does have some protection. You can see the metal plate right there. So it does have protection. So it's a 12-inch top grain leather upper. So it has an internal ankle plate. Okay, cast metal buckles, whatever. Right here, though. Aluminum shin and heel plate. So the back of the heel, it's got a plate. That's going to be able to offer some protection, and then the shin has a plate. So it's offering as much as it possibly can with what it's trying to do, but it's not the best. Like if I went straight for good boots, I like the way they look and they offer the protection, but I'm probably going to look for something a little bit different. When I look at all these things and I see all these buckles and everything, it's like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I like zippers, though. So if I was a sport bike rider, you know, screw it. Let's just go let's say I'm in the mood to shop for some boots. Okay. So tall boots are all tall boots are all tall boots are all tall boots. Okay, what do? I ride in Tucson, so it's hot, not necessarily wet, so I don't really care about water protection. Let's just do this. Best pick, let's start with that. These are super Mike Warner, they're super comfortable. So when I see this, just take a quick look. See that round thing? That's that ankle puck. So on the inside, it could either be D30, which is that orange stuff where you hit it. It's non-Newtonian fluid, so it's flexible. But then when you hit it, it hardens. That could be that. That could be D30 right there. You also have the shin protection. You see the whole protection right here. This is going to be probably a shank. Right there, you see how there's a little bit of a form. So you probably got heel protection. This right here on the toe, that is for a shifter, but they have them on both. That's to protect from the shifter damage. Right here. So the bottom of the boot is very important too. There we go. So you see how it's curved. So you can put your foot on the peg. But the problem is when you put your foot on the peg in the middle of your middle of your foot, you don't have a lot of control. You typically want to put it on the heel, or not on the heel, but on the balls of your feet. But you see the amount of tread it has. So this is good for on-off road, and it will keep your foot planted when you're at a stoplight. Let's take a look at some of the stuff. So now that I saw that, it's like, okay, that's really cool looking. Also with tall boots, you also have to think about, am I putting my pants inside the boot or over the boot? You put it over the boot, it doesn't really matter what it looks like. The full grain oiled leather upper. So updated dry text waterproof and breathable lining. So right there, it's got some good features. Double density anti-slip rubber sole. Okay. Injection molded plastic front plate. Okay. See how that doesn't offer us very much. Plastic gear pad. Okay. Inner molded plastic protectors. Yeah, see, we're going to like plastic. You know, where's the like D30 type stuff? GH unbreakable. Okay, give it to a firefighter and we'll break those buckles. Shin and ankle TPU molded plastic protection. So TPU is basically the injection molded plastic that is gonna help protect. So it has shin and ankle. Okay. Ankle reinforcements. Okay. Nylon midsole with steel shank. So that's really important. So that make sure you guys, if you get a boot or you get any type of motorcycle shoe, make sure it has a midsole steel shank. Because that right there is basically, it's a long piece of, this one's steel. So long piece of steel that goes from, supposed to be going from heel to toe. And that way there's not going to be a lot of flex on the bottom of your shoe. So it doesn't do that kind of crap. So it stays nice and stiff. So when you put pressure on that peg, it's not going to collapse like this. It's going to stay nice and stiff. You want that because that will reduce foot fatigue when you're riding. Antibacterial replaceable footbed. So like okay, that's cool. So this is, it says it has thermal or internal TPU protection. So it's going to have a plastic there, plastic on the heel. So you're going to have all that protection. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. But let's take a look at the difference between that and a race boot. Now remember guys, when you get these types of boots, you're wanting to walk around in them and do stuff while you're off the bike. Now if you get a motorcycle race boot, you're not walking around off the bike. So you're going full 100% protection with a race boot and almost no mobility. When it comes to regular shoes, regular boots for motorcycle stuff, you're going for a mixture of mobility and protection. So no compromise protection, get yourself a race boot. If you want to compromise because you walk around after you get off the bikes a lot, then don't get a race boot. It all depends on what you want to use it for. So let's take a look at CD. They make some really good boots. You can already tell the difference. You can already tell the difference. Look at the ankle, or look at the heel protection. Your heel's not going to get crushed with that unless the semi runs it over. You also have protection down there, and it looks like you can replace this. So if you start scraping things up, which you typically do on when you're out racing, you scrape this up, it looks like you can replace it. You have the zipper enclosure. The zipper's on the inside, which is great. So here's the thing, guys. If you get a boot that has a zipper on the outside, just think that's probably where you're going to get some abrasion in a crash, and it could rip the zipper out, and now your boot is exposed, and your boot is flying off. If you have it on the inside, very good chance you're not doing that. But look, you also have the ankle protection right here. This is where your ankle sits. You have this huge piece of plastic, and a huge piece of plastic on the outside of your ankle too, but you see how it doesn't offer a ton of flexibility. You have a hinged joint right here, so it's going to offer a little bit, but it's not like it's pure leather where it's going to offer you complete. Same thing here. Like, you got protection all the way up the top of the sides, and then up in the front, and then up in the back. So you have protection all around with a race boot, and that's what you need on a race boot. Yeah, so like replaceable sliders, 2 sliders. They forgot toe. Anyways, patent and trademark vertebrae system to protect the Achilles tendon. Guessing that's what that is. Interesting. Arch support, nylon shin protection. Okay. Composite inner sole. Okay. Shin deflector plate. Lorica outer construction. Okay. Double stitched in all high. See, like, they know it's double stitched in all high stress areas. Look for stitching too. Yeah, CD is really good. ZX10R Dev. CD is really good. We actually have CD boots for Nikki too, but just not like this. All bolt-on parts are replaceable. Now, that's for like abrasions. If you're in a crash and you have these boots, check them first, but I would call the manufacturer and let them know, hey, I was in a crash, this was damaged, this was damaged, this was not. Are these boots still good? More than likely they're going to say buy a new boot, and I'm going to agree with that. It's like crashing with a helmet. Just get a new helmet. Have your insurance pay for it. Itemize all that stuff. An elastic panel adjacent to the entry zipper allows for a bind-free zip and improved fit. Very good. Dual compound sole. Okay. DuPont polymer toe shift pad. Okay. All that means is just that's marketing right there. It's just a toe shift pad. Perforated Teflon treated nylon lining, replaceable shock absorbing heel cup. That's interesting. Added Achilles area, external ankle support braces with closed air vents, cam lock bug. You see how it's just like pure, like it's pure like protection. It doesn't even talk about like, top grain leather. It's like, no, this is what we're doing. End of story. Protection. So no compromise protection. You get a race boot. Okay, guys. Get yourself a, if that's all you care about and you're just gonna ride, like, if this is a good boot, like if you have the cash, that like race boots would be good if you're just doing weekend only stuff and you're like, I'm gonna go from the house up into Twisties and back. I'll get gas, I'll do all that stuff, but I'm not going to dinner, or I'm not, going to the mall and park my bike and walk around. That's not what these track and race boots for. The track and race boots are pretty much for just being on the bike. The tall boots, it's gonna be for a mixture of both. The short boots, I don't even recommend these, but I know a lot of people are wanting it. Short boots are just less protection than tall boots, but you can walk around in them. They're gonna offer the same stuff as tall boots will. You're gonna have the ankle protection. Hopefully, you're gonna hopefully have that mid steel shank, or even like a carbon fiber shank on the bottom. You're gonna have the toe stuff. Hopefully, heel. But you're definitely not going to have anything above ankle. You're not going to have ankle protection, like a lot of it. The only time you're going to have ankle protection is in these taller boots or these taller shoes. So if you want to straight up compromise on stuff, you can get something like this. But you're going to have less protection, but you have, the heel, you have a little bit of ankle, a little bit of the toe, and then a little bit of underneath, but that's it. Also, he has laces, but if you're going to notice on some of these, the laces aren't really real laces. It does say lace closure. You really don't want to get something like this. That's gonna get caught. That's gonna get caught. It's either zipper for me or the boa lace. But sometimes you'll find shoes like this, and they'll have that boa lace, so you can do more. But that's one of the problems that you have with this. The tall boots, they're mainly zipper. They're mainly zipper. Right here, anatomic replaceable insole, great, whatever. Rubber sole, great, whatever. Lace, I don't like. Malleus area and toe heel reinforcement. The malleus is towards the ankle. The toe heel reinforcements, like, but what is it? What's the reinforcements? Nobody knows. And we're paying $160 for what? Regular shoes that maybe have better abrasion resistance. Not good enough for me. That's like the typical, you know, $159, or I can spend another $100 on straight up full protection. You know what I mean? And then you go even crazier if you want like pure protection, go to a track race boots. But when you look at Cruiser Harley stuff, though, I mean, like the Cruiser boots, it's the same thing. You know, they put you in a different category for things. So those of you that are wanting like Red Wing boots, there you go. The thing is, you don't want to wear just straight Red Wings because you don't get the ankle support. You don't get the heel reinforcements. You don't get the toe reinforcement. You might, but it's not going to be what you need. You might not get the mid shank that you need. But once again, you have laces. Now, hopefully these laces can be tucked away and just use the zipper to get on and off. But I mean, you're paying $250. What does it have? It just has, okay, so CE certified, but with what? I'm assuming that's going to be the ankle. Superior grip on any terrain. That's great. Ideal sole construction using stitched welt soles. Velcro, blah, blah, blah. And anatomic and replaceable insole. So all this bottom part is just fluff. I don't care. Leather shift pad, same thing. That's fluff. Malleus is that ankle support. Okay. Reinforcement, toe and heel counter. Okay. So you see how, like, you're not even getting a ton. But, I mean, that right there is what you need. There's not much to protect when it comes to your foot outside of impact protection. Because you're not rubbing your foot across the ground like you would with pants and a jacket. The thing is, you don't want to get your foot crushed. So my biggest thing when it comes to not getting my foot crushed is the support in the ankle, the heel, the toe, and then making it to where it doesn't flex. And you got to pay the price. You got to pay a premium if you want to get, you know, just straight up full protection. Get a track race boot, $500. I mean, you can get. Let's just take a look at the Alpine Stars. I know we looked at how much was the CD? $345. That's actually not that bad. But we can go to $500 for racing. I like the black and red. It looks nice. So you have kind of that external hinge. So this is all protection. You got protection on the back. You got the protection on the front. It's not replaceable, but once again, for us being on the street, it doesn't really matter. You got the protection up top to protect your shin. And then you have protection on the rear, which I don't think it's going to show. Okay, let's see. So same thing, ankle protection, TPUs. You see the difference in the features versus the regular shoe, right? Not that big. It's not that big. I'm gonna spend more time on this, guys. I'm gonna spend a little bit more time on this. Let's go through. I do have a list of gear, though. If you're brand new to what we're talking about, I do have a list of gear for beginners. I clicked the link in the chat, and let's go ahead and I'll show what I have. So I just clicked the link for that beginner gear, and this is what I have for beginner gear. Okay, so I have the HJC CL17. It's $134. This is Snell rated. Once again, check your helmet size or head size. This is the Fly Cool Pro mesh jacket. That's the one I wear. This is the Speed and Strength denim jeans. So I picked lower pricing for beginners. Icon Overlord pants, same thing. Alpine Stars Tech 1 boots. Okay. the fly street, because I know a lot of you guys want these types of boots, so I included it. These jackets, the Joe Rocket, and then the Bell SRT. This is also Snell rated, and then Icon 1000 Nightbreed gloves. So I have that all right there. If you want to click it, click the link in the Chitty chat, and that's going to get you to where you need to go. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more. Let's go ahead and jump into some after action reviews. We still got 20 minutes, and I think we got as much as we possibly could out of this.
Hello everyone.
I feel like I need
another crazy collection of bikers
Moto Madness, stop.
For you. So check this out and try it.
There we go, Jeebus. Not Moto Madness. Anyways, well, let's get back into this. All right. So I'm going to spend some time researching some of the helmets. I'll do a helmet, jacket, pant, boot, gloves video series. It seems like you guys really want to know, and part of the Smart Rider principles is having gear, so I want you to have gear. So let's do this for about 10 minutes. Let's watch it through. And let's figure it out, baby. Just kidding. We're going to go to the garage real quick. What is up? So we just talked about gear. We just talked about all that stuff. We wanted to make sure that we have the best gear possible. That's really the biggest thing, is we make sure we have some really damn good gear. We want to be able to not be hurt when we get into a crash. You know, we do situational awareness, we have fundamental skills, but just in case something happens, we want to be able to be protected as best as we possibly can. So, make sure you guys get your gear, make sure you guys do it all. But if you are still kind of looking for a bike, you're looking for gear, well, guess what? If you win this bike, you don't even have... Just chairs right... You stay right there, handle. If you guys are looking for all that stuff, you're just now getting into it, we are giving away this Honda CBR 300R with ABS. So if you do win it, you can save all that money you typically would have spent on a bike and get really good gear. So guys, if you'd like to win this and get my ebook for free, you enter in, the link's going to be in the chat, you enter it, you're going to get my ebook for free if you sign up on Patreon, and you're going to be entered to win this too. We're giving it away in October. Please click that link. If you do sign up during the stream, it's going to pop up on screen. Also, if you want to be a member, that'll pop up on screen. But let's go ahead and jump into some of these motorcycle crashes and see what happened. That way we can prevent it for ourselves. So let's go ahead and get into class, and let's talk about it. Okay, guys? All right, let's go. Oh, that was quick. Quick. We're going to be going over some of these motorcycle crashes tomorrow. We'll be talking a little bit more about that kind of stuff too, tomorrow's live stream. But let's go ahead and focus on this, and let's figure it out. JR's. Yeah, Clem is good stuff. What's up, Blue Man? How you doing? Yeah, I just realized we spent an hour and 45 minutes talking about gear. And it just makes me realize that we need to spend a little bit more time on it and create a video series for you guys.
Safe. The driver tries to make a U-turn in the prohibited area, additionally stopping and blocking the road.
Blue Man E046, can I take a look at Voss helmets? I have looked at them before. It's... No, to me, it's like another Ruroc. Sorry. Way too expensive. Great marketing. No. Stick with Shoei. Stick with Arai.
The area, additionally stopping and blocking the road.
Yeah, my cup is looking full. Alright, blind turn. Watch out for the right. Okay, good. Now look to the left. Anything around the corner? No? Okay, good. Go around the corner. Oh, watch out now. Good swerve. Get back in. Very good. Very good. You know, we're gonna do a lightning round. Let's do a lightning round, guys. I'm gonna have to turn down the audio to do that so you can hear me. So let's go back to the beginning. We're just gonna do lightning round. We're just gonna play it through. We're playing it through. I'm going to turn down the audio for you guys. All right, we're going to be moving up on this turn. It's a blind turn. I'm going to go ahead and slow down, roll off the throttle, slow look, press, and roll. Now that I see that it's open, cool, I'm going to go, oh, crap, here comes somebody turning. And we did a nice swerve, red stage maneuver, move on with our day, shake our head. Hopefully no more close calls for the rest of the day. Check my pants. There we go. Okay, we're going a little too fast. Making sure we're not going to crash into anybody. Hopefully my buddies are not going to crash either. Oh, you're a little too wide. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, crap. Never mind. Not funny. Woo, baby. You made it. Very good. Slow it down next time. Guys, let's go ahead and check our ego so we're not going crazy on this turn. Let's not do that again. Keeping the eyes on the ROAD. Okay, good line of sight. You can see very well. Oops. All right. Oh, there we go. Can't see the intersection coming up. Okay, we should have saw the intersection. We got this guy turning to the right. Okay, we see sides of the vehicles right here. Why is this guy turning to the right? I see some reflections. And then there's the vehicle. Good braking, good progressive braking. They went to go. We didn't T-bone them. I call this a win. Move on to the next thing. Hopefully we can see the next intersection. Very, very good. All right, knee dragging around, having some fun with just the tip moto vlogs. And then we're going to be riding through the canyons. Blind turn, going a little too fast. I'm going to catch up to my buddy. Had to go wide. Went off the road. Thankfully, I didn't hit a tree and die. But it seems like I was riding to his ability, not mine. I should have kept a better space cushion, better line of sight. Didn't happen. Thankfully, I'm okay. So we're going to move on to the next one as soon as they can. And Miguel Chavez entered the giveaway, baby. Welcome to the giveaway. Thank you so much for joining. Get your ebook. Make sure you check the link that is in the email that you got or that thank you page. It will have the link for the ebook. Oh, going a little too fast. This is from Max Wrist India. I didn't make that up. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Max Wrist India. I don't know if it's a branded thing. I don't know if he's endorsed, or I don't know if it's a copyright issue, but we're going to talk about it. All right, so here we go. We're going to move on. Max Wrist India going a little too fast. You see the shakiness. Probably applied a little bit too much brake pressure, going too wide in the turn. Is he going to keep it up? No, he didn't. He's going to slow it down just enough to where he lost traction on that front tire, and he's going to go ahead and fly forward. And you see that hand being put out. That's why you have that impact protection on the palms. And then you also have it on the shoulder. His left shoulder got hit. His left knee got hit. He's got knee pads. Got to do what you got to do, I guess. And then he crashed going too fast into a corner. Remember, guys, slow look, press, and a roll. Okay? Slow look, press, and roll. All right, so Cool Breeze Rider once again riding with a group ride. Looks like you guys are all doing a good job. Staggered. Very good. We're going to have to pass on the right of that vehicle. Oh, what is that? Uncommon thing in a common situation. Guy is going the wrong way. Hopefully people can see that. So thankfully we aren't going to be the ones getting a head on, but you should be wearing full gear in the first place. Pay attention to what's in front of you. This is not your emergency. It is their emergency. Moving on. Moving on. So we're going to lane filter. Watch out for anybody crossing lanes. We just saw it happen right in front of us with our vision. There it is. There's another Prius doing this kind of crap. I think it's a Prius. I don't know. It's a Toyota. Probably a Yaris. I don't know. But anyways, that's one of the problems you got to watch out for when you're lane splitting, is that people are going to merge from left to right, left to right. Okay, so we got this car. Uncommon thing, uncommon thing. What are you doing? What are you doing? Not paying attention. Woo, baby. Let's go back just a little bit. That was an uncommon thing. We didn't have to turn around. But you notice how this car is like slowly kind of creeping in our lane, crossing that double yellow, swerve to the right. We weren't paying attention to the last second, hoping that person was just going to get back in their own lane. I don't trust that. Got to swerve out of the way. I'm not going to follow these people running around. Make sure you guys click that join button or click that link that's going to be in the Chitty Chat. That is to support the channel. It's $2 a month. It really helps everything out. You get the cool emojis like the ones that JR Arizona Patriot and Mike Warner just posted. Woo, baby. You get a lot of cool emojis. So we're just going to chase them. It's going to be cool. You know, they're not going to pull a gun on us or anything like that. And we're just going to have a good time. We're just going to say, hi, what's up? You know, they're not going to beat us up or anything like that. Oh, we just totally crossed all that stuff. We went into oncoming traffic area. Why are we following? I don't know. We're going to go ahead and move forward a little bit. He says he's sorry. He doesn't know, blah, blah, blah. Moving on. All right, so we got a sharp left turn. Looks like it's not too sharp. We're moving side of the vehicle, 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 intersection, 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 boom. Very good job rolling off throttle, applying brake pressure, slowing down. Was able to save it. Didn't have to do any type of red stage maneuver. Saw it ahead of time. and did what he had to do, because that car was going to pull out no matter what, even if we were gunning past him or doing this. All right, so we had an intersection, orange stage. Very good. Orange stage, we're turning right. Watch out for gravel. Don't go too fast. Watch out for gravel. Watch out for this guy moving over. Did that. Applied some brake pressure while he straightened up. Get off the train track. I would not want to be there. I would move off to the other side. It doesn't matter. This guy wants to turn right. We can have an argument, disagreement. I have it muted, so I don't even want to hear this stuff. And at this point in time, is it safe for me to sit here? It's not safe for me to sit here. I'm gonna move up a little bit now. Now it's starting to be safe. I want good line of sight. I don't care if it's 2 lanes to turn right. I think that's what he's saying. I'm gonna turn left right here. Okay, so I'm moving off. I'm turning left. Non-issue. End of day. That's why the video ended. All right, watch out. There you go. He saw it. He saw it. He's seeing it. He's seeing it. Roll off the throttle. Roll off the throttle, baby. Why fight for that position? That's exactly what you guys should not be doing. You should not be fighting for the position. Let's go ahead and watch it again real quick. We're going to play it a little bit. Okay, he sees it, right? He's going to see it. We talked about this in the after action reviews. At this point, start rolling off the throttle. That's what the person wants to do. They want to come in your lane. It doesn't matter. That's what they're doing. Roll off the throttle, giving them that space. Just give it to them. Roll off the throttle. Get yourself out of that space. Get out of that. This is a Tesla. It should have seen that, right? The computer system should have seen that. I thought that was the weirdest thing. Let's go ahead and get to the pole that I was talking about. Get to the pole. All right. So you guys, I asked, because I had a lot of fun on the Q&A private class for you guys. And I asked, should we have it, what time works for you? Early Saturday, noon Saturday, late Saturday? We had a lot for late Saturday, but damn, did we have a lot of people say they eat boogers. So I couldn't use this poll. So I'm just going to do what works best for me. Friday evenings. What do you guys think? Friday evenings around 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're going to have a members-only chat. We're going to start off. We're going to try for 1 hour. But if it goes to 2 hours, great. Right? So Friday evening. So right before your class, if you have questions. If you have a class Saturday and Sunday, right before your class, you have questions, boom. We're going to talk about it Friday. This way I get the weekends for myself and my family. I had more time to think about it. But Friday evenings, members-only chat. It's going to be open to everybody, but Q&A chat hanging out with members. Yeah, nose candy. It's good. Microphagy. Very good stuff. All right, looping the wheelies. Made with Vivacut. Very good. And we're going to crash. So those are thrashing gloves, I believe. Not going to offer very much protection. You also have high tops. Not going to offer any impact protection. Regular jeans, probably. So now we're going to have abrasion resist. Not resistance. We're going to have abrasions all over the body. And that's no buenos. Okay, no bueno means something in Spanish. I just keep saying it. But you're going to have a lot of problems. So impacts to the hips, knees, back, or shoulders, arms, wrists, elbows. All those joints that you have is going to get massive, massive impacts. So that's what you're gonna want to do. And this is all freaking slow-mo. I don't care. Moving on. $3 for Moto Mindful, baby. Oh! Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. First one of the day. Only took an hour and 55 minutes. Anyways. All right, so Fridays at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you don't know what time that is, 2 hours from now, but on Friday. Is this a women's jacket? Fly Street Cool Pro Mesh. I have one, and so does my wife. So they make a women's, and then they make a men's version for the Fly Cool Pro mesh jacket. I like mine. I really do. Yeah, we got Nikes in the Chitty Chat for members. You can put Nikes, but it's not a Nike. They're Converse high tops, baby. Oh, is that what no bueno means? It means no good? Whoops. All right, so we're going to be riding. Watch out, brakes. We can't see you around this intersection right here. Just stay right here. Watch out for behind you. Oh, baby, that was close. He did what he had to do, though. I would put myself in a better position off to the side a little bit more just in case the car behind me wasn't paying attention. You do see that car in the mirror. That way I didn't get squished. Whoa. $2 a.m. for you. Oh, man. That's a rough one. All right, wheeling it. I get up to get down. That's the name. There's like no audio. I don't know what happened to the audio. Whoa. I wonder if like they forgot to do the audio. A lot of mean people in the chat. Whoa, negative 8 million. MotoStars deleted a lot of video. Wow. What's going on, MotoStars? All right, so we're going through the some cornering, some corners. Watch out for animals. He's checking his mirrors. He sees something in his mirror. Somebody's right up on him. Right up on him. What the heck are you doing, dude? So it's not always cars, it's other motorcycle riders. Mike Warner and Jeremy Coulter. Coulter or Coulter. So fancy. Just joined the motorcycle giveaway. If you guys don't know what that is, we're giving away a Honda CBR 300R with ABS in October. That one you just kind of don't know when that was going to happen. That he did good. He was situationally aware. He was able to pay attention to stupid dumb vehicles out there. Thank you for the super chat, Mike Warner, baby. Oh, thank you for the support. Oh, there you go. Once again, big long line. We're moving, so people are gonna want to get into our lane. Come on. Silver Fiesta. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Watch outside of the vehicle right there to the right. Watch. You can't see anything now. Can't see anything. Now you can see something. You're getting kind of cut off here and there. You moving around. Okay, watch out. Wait for this guy to make a decision. He's still in the middle of the lane. Okay, that was a non-issue. Moving on. They probably got copyright issues. Oh, AJ Stone with the donation. Woo, baby. Watch out, side of the vehicle. Boom. Get yourself out of that intersection. Christian Esquivel. Woo, baby. You guys too? You guys are amazing. Oh, watch out, side of the vehicle.
Thanks for watching till the end. I hope you enjoyed.
That's it for MotoStars?
In the next video. Right safe.
It's like the audio like just died. The audio just died. So if you guys are wondering what this is all is, just now joining, this is my beginner list of gear. So if you want to get and check that out, click the link that's going to be in the chat. What we're going to do is we're going to go to my garage, or not my garage, we're going to go to my office, okay? Got here quick. You guys all got here pretty damn quick. It took me forever to run here. All right, everyone take a quick seat. We're going to do a quick Q&A. We're going to have some fun for about 15-20 minutes. We're going to talk. If you guys have questions about gear, we'll talk about gear. So go ahead and take a seat. We're going to go ahead and do another conversation. It's up to you guys. You know, it's kind of open floor, almost like an ask me anything. It doesn't have to be about gear. Oh. Doesn't have to be about gear. It can be about anything. Oh, Christian Esquivel. There you go. It popped up. Woo, baby. Thank you so much for the donations, guys. Really do appreciate it. Just for a heads up, I didn't mention. Whoa, messing up my jar there. I didn't really mention it. I had this idea that I want to get going. Is that I want to go ahead and speak to people that interest me. I want to speak to I want to do a pod. So think about like the Joe Rogan podcast a little bit here, okay? I want to talk to people that interest me, that have some type of value for you guys. So I want to interview like an ER doctor. I want to interview a motorcycle cop, a stunt rider. I want to interview, somebody that helps plan. I mean, it sounds boring, but somebody that plans, like a civil engineer about how they do some of the roads and why they have signage. Somebody that's in the streets department, stuff like that. And I also want to interview like somebody at REVZILLA or something where they like talk about gear, or I want to talk to, Shoei, somebody in marketing for Shoei, or somebody that does research and development for Shoei, and ask them questions. I want to ask all these different questions, and what are they going to get out of it? What they're going to get out of it is that they're going to, talk to you guys basically. The main thing is I want to get some information. I want to get some information so that you guys get that information. I'm thinking about posting those on Mondays. So I want to be able to have a podcast up. So I'm gonna talk to a bunch of people. This is in the future, guys, because I gotta talk to all these people, get it all recorded, get it all set up, and then post it on Mondays. And then Fridays, like I said, I want to do a Q&A, ask me anything, kind of a hangout for members only on Fridays, so you guys can ask your questions and I could talk to you guys. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays have like a either an after action review type live stream where we go over crashes, or do what we did today and talk about gear. Maybe do a smaller subject because full gear is maybe too much for one video. But stuff like that, but still do Monday through Friday videos too. So we're talking almost 10 videos a week. I couldn't do that without your guys' support, though. I couldn't do that without you guys becoming members, joining the giveaway, being on Discord, you know, just little things like that. It really does motivate me to keep doing it because you guys keep coming back. So I must be doing something right, and you guys must be really enjoying it. So let's see. Would you recommend heating grips or heated gloves for winter riding? I would do gloves because that way you can take your hands off the handlebars if you really want to. The grips would probably be easier to install because with the heated gloves, you're pretty much connected to the bike because you have the wires connected to the battery system, or the electrical system. So you're going to be kind of connected unless it's like an external battery or some other type of doohickey that I don't know about because I never had to worry about heated grips or gloves for here. But heated grips, just think about that. It's the grip is for your motorcycle. You know, your heated gloves, it's going to heat around everything on your gloves. The grip's only going to heat what you're gripping on. So if you have if you're cold up here, it's not going to, it might do something, it might not. It all depends. Why does tank slapper occur? How to handle such a situation? Tank slapper happens because the handlebars and the bike are rotating at different frequencies. How to handle such a situation? A lot of people say you accelerate to lift weight off that front tire, weight off that front suspension so it can stabilize. What I do know is you don't want to slam the brakes, but basically the end all be all to that is to get weight off that front end. And so you either sit back or accelerate a little bit to do that. When you get to the point where you're having a tank slapper, it's a tough one. There's a good chance you're just going to crash. To prevent it, make sure you have good maintenance on your bike, so especially the front suspension. Also, make sure you have good maintenance on your tire, so you have proper PSI. You can also get a steering dampener that could help out. 8220. I don't know if you answered this before. I had to take a work call. How should elbow armor fit? I feel mine sits almost too high on my arm. So when you're standing and you're just standing normal and your arms are down, your armor is going to be weird. Okay, it's going to be either like down here or up here. When you're riding and you're doing this, you want your armor to be encapsulating that area, because when you crash and fall, you're going to probably be tense and kind of do this or try to. So it's going to be limiting that stuff, but you definitely want it sitting where it should be sitting over that elbow while you're riding. Okay. Any recommendations for full protection armor vest? Something I could throw any leather jacket over. A vest is not going to give you full protection. I mean, a vest is a vest. If you're going to throw any leather jacket over, any leather jacket might not offer the same abrasion resistance as a motorcycle jacket. And that's because the stitching is not going to be the best. So you could rip the leather panels off and now you're exposed. And also it's probably a different level of, or different type of leather. So soft, nice, easy leather, that's usually goat, kangaroo. You want something heavy, thick, cow leather. The vest is not going to offer anything for the arms, obviously, because it's a vest, and more than likely it doesn't have armor inserts for that. So that question's a tough one, because I know you probably have a leather jacket you really love and you just want to have something underneath. So that might be that situation where you buy like a fitted shirt with armor inserts that has abrasion resistance. That's kind of what we saw earlier in the stream, and throw a leather jacket over that. I'm going to tell you right now, the easiest solution for what you're having is just to buy a protective leather jacket. A nice looking protective leather jacket for motorcycling. Will 6333. Yeah, sometimes it does. So if something's out of stock on REVZILLA, does it ever come back in stock? It does sometimes. Typically if it's back ordered, it will. So if it says straight up out of stock, they just don't know when it's gonna come back. Yeah, I think you can sign up for email alerts, and I've done that, and things have come back. Do you see a story about a news reporter in New York died yesterday on scooter, no helmet, head trauma? No, I didn't. What? No helmet. And your riding jeans can fit a D30. If your riding jeans can fit D30 or D30, I call it D30. Level 2 protection in them. Is it wise thing to do? The hip protection fit great, but the knee protection is tight on the inside. You can. That's the thing, is there's different styles and different types. So I mean, you can find a different knee insert that could fit, that's thinner but still offers. D30 is really good though. So I mean, that it should be flexible. It's just probably thick. That might be one of the problems with D30. Do I ever consider going to a track with Yami from Janos Alex Octave? Yes, we've talked about it. I need to get myself over there to Texas and do it. Any recommendation for under jacket back protection? I mean, you can wear that like sport bike riders wear, like that back protector. But I mean, if you're gonna get a jacket, just put the back protector in the jacket. Orthopedic surgeon, orthopedic therapist help persons over. Okay, orthopedic. I'm gonna go ahead and write that down. Guys, tell me who you want me to talk to that you believe would help out when it comes to motorcycle safety. This is where the crew really kicks in. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna write down orthopedic surgeon. I do want to talk to an ER doc because they do see the immediate trauma, and then they have to do immediate life-saving procedures, and then the orthopedic surgeon kind of takes over. Same thing with like a plastic surgery. It's not just for boobies. That word still gets me. Plastic surgery is not just for like, cosmetic and like, elective surgeries. Plastic surgery is like repairing of what a face should look like if your face gets ripped off type stuff. So they might be good to talk to too. Opinion about MIPS. Oh yeah, somebody asked about MIPS. Go back to the MIPS technology. All right. Real quick on MIPS. So what is MIPS? It's this it's like that yellow thing. They have it in, it came from the biking world. It came from the biking world, but this is what it looks like. So rotational motion. That's one of the biggest problems. You're going to have shearing forces within the brain because you rotate. So we talk about traction, right? We talk about, acceleration, deceleration, and then turning. Well, traction, all it is weight and friction to grab. So when you hit your head, you're going to grab some ground and it's going to rotate your body. So that right there is what MIPS is supposed to protect. So you see how it stays on your head? Like the MIPS part stays on your head, but then the helmet rotates. Well, that rotational forces does not get transmitted, hopefully, to your body. It basically stays within like this. So Bell right now, they have it in their bike helmets, but they have it in some. So the Bell Qualifier MIPS has it. So this is what MIPS does. Now, this might be the future of motorcycle helmets. We don't know yet. It's not fully tested in motorcycle applications, but it has been tested in mountain biking and road bike stuff. So I'm very excited. Toby Washer became a crew member, baby. Ooh, I'm excited for it. It doesn't have too much right now. Whoa, you messed up my cup there, buddy. Hey, yo. I like MIPS. I like what I have right now. I'm not gonna be like, well, I'm gonna buy a MIPS helmet. I'm gonna get rid of my really nice $700 helmet to get a MIPS helmet. I'm not there yet. I think when it's time for me to rotate my helmet out after every 5 years, I'm gonna take a look at MIPS. My wife doesn't like it when I listen to music over my intercom headset. What do you think? Is it bad for the concentration? Johan, it can be if you're not paying attention. It's simple as that. If you're paying attention to the music, yeah, it could be a problem. If you're not paying attention to the music and you're just like background noise, then no. As long as you're still scanning with your eyes, just remember you're removing one of your senses. You're removing the auditory sense. So if somebody's honking their horn, you're not going to hear it. So that means you have to keep your head on a swivel and understand your 360 situational awareness with your eyes only. And if you're not comfortable doing that, or you think you're comfortable doing that, well, then you still need to practice more. This is my opinion on force field back protectors and their other products. And what sort of protection do you use? D30 or so? A Mega B. Just ask that question. Mine didn't come with D30. If it did, I'd use it. I have my armor that came with the jacket, and then I buy what's recommended for it because I know it'll fit. If it comes with D30, great. If it doesn't, as long as it's CE rated, I'm happy with. I don't know about the force field back protectors. I don't know too much about those, but as long as they're EN 1621-2 back protectors, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter as long as it's from a reputable place. So I'll get something from like Alpine Stars, or I'll get something, like one of them that they create a lot of them. And I'll put it in my jacket if it fits. J Max, I have a list of gear that's gonna pop up in the chat. I'm getting into riding, and I'm not sure what's a good helmet or jacket that will protect me but won't break the bank. So real quick, for a helmet, if you're looking at a helmet, look for the ECE 22.05. That is going to be the European standard for helmets. Do not just go get a DOT helmet. Make sure it at least says ECE on it. And a jacket, you really got to pick what you're going to be using for. For summer jackets, you want to get a mesh jacket. You can find jackets for under $200. The main thing is you want to make sure it comes with elbow and shoulder armor at minimum. Elbow and shoulder armor at minimum. It's probably going to come with a very thin foam back protector. That's not real protection, so don't think that your back is protected with that thing. It's like a gray piece of foam, and it's very flimsy. You're probably going to have to buy a foam protector or a back protector later. But for now, you just get away with the shoulder and elbow. I have a stupid question. Anything to protect the long hair in a helmet? I don't know. I don't have that problem, buddy. Anybody here that has long hair can help answer that question? Any recommendation for under jacket protection? No. I'm sorry. Like, for me, I dress in layers, guys. Like, I want to have... the jacket is the jacket, is the protection, is the protection. Anything underneath my jacket is what I want to wear that's going to protect me from something else. So I'll wear, like, heat gear. So if it's super hot out, I'll have something moisture wicking. If it's cold out, I'll have something that will keep my internal temperature good. But then mainly, it's just me wearing, like I'll wear this underneath my jacket. And when I take my jacket off, I don't want to wear protection for me walking around. So I don't look for that type of stuff. I don't look for underneath jacket protection. Okay. That's your opinion, man. If music is a distraction. Yeah, it can be. It definitely can be. There's been times where it has, but it's also been able to keep me focused and not going into white stage, something to pump me up. So I'm not just like thinking of random stuff. I'm thinking of the music, but then also paying attention to the road. And if you guys are hearing a lot of wind noise while you're riding, that right there, you need to have hearing protection. You're going to destroy your ears. You'll never get that back. Eyes in the skies, how you doing? Hubert, passed your CBD today. Good job. Everyone give a biker wave to Hubert. Woo! Search for the bike begins. Yeah. Hopefully interview an A-list star like Keanu Reeves. That's right. Dude, that'd be sweet. That'd be sweet. If I could, I would love to interview like an insurance agent, a bunch of other stuff. Added Kevlar jeans. Kevlar is just an aramid fiber. With the jeans, mean, you're gonna find a lot of motorcycle jeans, a lot of different things. Um, it all depends on the brand and everything. We just looked at Bullet, BULL-IT, and they have some great motorcycle jeans, and they have aramid. Kevlar is just an aramid fiber. Kevlar is one of the first ones, so it's not going to be the best one. Its purposes was for, you know, bulletproof vests and a few other things, and then, you know, firefighters have Kevlar for abrasion resistance. But, you know, motorcycles, we're traveling at a higher rate of speed, and we do care about comfort. We do care about stretchability and breathability and all these different things. Firefighters don't care. Vests, bulletproof vests don't care. So there's better stuff out there outside of Kevlar, but Kevlar is an aramid fiber. It's gonna offer some abrasion and heat transfer resistance. What is my recommendation for full back protection? Get yourself a level 2 back protector for your jacket. That's all you can do right now, unless you get an airbag vest. Yeah, you can't plan exactly, Tashin. You can't plan for everything, but wear as much as you possibly can. Because, you know, let's say you have a, you know, a right arm injury, but if you weren't wearing anything, you would have like left arm, back, you know, chest, hip. But if you're wearing full gear, you might still have that left arm or right arm injury, but then everything else is so minimal, that's not even an issue. I'd rather have one broken arm than like 2 broken arms and a back. I have a leather jacket with armor in the arms and shoulders. Would you recommend getting a vest as well? Matt Churchill. So if it doesn't have anything for the back, you're still fine. Okay, you're still fine. A lot of the impacts are going to be on the limbs. So your shoulders and elbows are going to be the biggest thing. Your back is only if like you impact your back, and you typically don't. You typically impact your front. That's one of the big problems with leather jackets. So your next leather jacket, like, what? Think about it this way: you have a leather jacket list. Okay, well, get yourself a 3-season jacket that's good for spring, summer, fall, and make sure that thing has full protection. So that way you're at least riding around with a good jacket with a lot of protection for spring, summer, fall, and then when it comes to winter time, you have a good jacket too. It's just that it's not gonna be the best one. And then when it's time to rotate that one out, then you could buy a new one. Don't go replacing stuff just for like something small. Think about it also, you know, financially. You don't want to be spending a ton of money. First time properly wearing my gear today. I need to get some lighter gloves because my hands were soaking. Ooh. My opinion on armored riding jeans, they can be good. I just find that in the heat, they are very sweaty and they get heavy. And they don't stretch very well. So when you're standing and walk around, they're fine. But don't get jeans that have the V shape in the crotch. Get some that are U shaped. Because when you're sitting on a bike, that's going to bunch up right on your junk. What do you think about Icon's armor striker rig under a jersey for street riding, no highway? So I saw that Icon had something. So the Icon striker. Okay, they have a vest. Let's see if I can find the. You said the full. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the striker stuff. I'm not a big fan of. I prefer. Okay, so are you talking? Okay, this. Okay, let's go. Let's take a look. So this is it right here. This is the striker thing. These are CE rated. Okay. Take a look. The D30 inserts. D30. Right, like allergies are acting up right now. So I don't think it has. The problem is now, like, it has impact protection. Okay, so it's got impact protection. But the problem is it doesn't have abrasion resistance. So you could, this will get ripped up. All this will get ripped up. I'm assuming it does have abrasion resistance right here. Like that part, but that's mesh. I mean, that, I don't think it does. It's good for impacts. The slow speed stuff, if you're out practicing a parking lot or stunting, it'd be good. So they have other stuff too, the field armor. So they have this thing, field armor compression shirt. This is what I was thinking about when I saw a lot of these things. And they're okay. My biggest problem is the abrasion. It has, so impact zones. Where's the abrasion? So impact, 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 impact. Nothing for abrasion. So if you throw this underneath a jersey, if you throw it underneath a jersey, it's not going to offer the abrasion. It's going to offer the impact. So for those of you that have like those leather jackets that don't have armor, then this underneath that would be good, because leather does have inherent abrasion resistance. I don't know. I don't know what they're who's the market for. I think that is for stunters, because they're not going to have to deal with a lot of abrasions because they're going slow speed, but they're having to deal with a lot of impacts, and they don't want something restrictive. So I have a feeling this is meant for that, like that person. It's meant for stunting. So when you look at brands, guys, look at who did they design stuff for. Shoei, Arai, and all that stuff, they're helmets, okay, but they focus mainly on racing. Alpine Stars, they're like a mix of both racing and street. Icon, it just seems like they are only street and stunts. So this right here seems to be just stunting. The gear that Walter Terrific is wearing, that's not motorcycle specific. He's having a lot of fun with that. Joe Rocket high vis text. Joe Rocket's good. So the high vis is just the high vis is just, you know, the color. Joe Rocket summer jackets, the Phoenix jackets, all that stuff are really good jackets. Joe Rocket makes some really good entry level jackets, and they know who they're talking to. They're talking to the consumer that just wants to get into riding, and they want protection, but they can't afford a ton of features. But they just want the protection, and Joe Rocket does a good job. Klim, on the other hand, they realize people have money, and they make a lot of good stuff, a lot of high quality stuff that will last you a while, good warranties, all those different things. So those are right there. That's all I can say. I mean, I could talk over and all day about certain things, but the mainly is Joe Rocket's a good brand. Klim's a good brand too. All right, let's see. Where are we at? All right. From I've seen this Icon vest, the only reason it has impact protection is the D30 behind the vest. Those plastic plates do nothing. So there you go. There you go. So what's a good summer jacket with slide protection? The jackets that I have in the link that's going to be popping up, there's 2 summer jackets there. One of them is the one I use. Very good. You guys check them out. Guys, we've been streaming for 2.5 hours. Tomorrow we'll be back. I gotta go ahead and film and do some more stuff, edit, and all these different things. I got at least 2 more hours of work ahead of me. I will be seeing you guys tomorrow, and hopefully you guys have a good time. If you guys want to become crew members, please do so. Please do so. Click that link that's in the chat. That's for crew members. This is the parking lot practice area. Wait, no, let's do new rider questions. So if you guys are, no, maintenance gear, let's do that. If you're wondering, like, if I didn't answer your question, or if you need some more help, we do have the new rider questions area. Go ahead and join the free Discord. Discord is free. I'm just gonna say hi. ZX10 or Debs in here. Hi. So this is the Discord. This is the maintenance and gear section. I'm sorry I couldn't answer everybody's questions. I mean, we're doing this for 2.5 hours, and I know we can just we can go over and over and over and on and on and on. And I would totally do it. I just have other stuff I gotta get going. Yeah, Terrell, I know. I know.